I'm gonna make this clear to you guys. I would not be apologizing today. I'm just taking accountability of my actions, but I'm not sorry for it.
I am going to be crucified when I tell you this.
What's it up, right? I only took 7.5 milligrams of Austrian for only 4 weeks, and that was 3.5 years ago. I guess that doesn't make me a natural anymore, but I lied to you guys, and I'm not sorry for it.
And my testosterone levels dropped to literally 150 milligrams. That's lower than a woman's.
Good, that's enough. Do you have one more line? Do you have a line?
Do you have a line?
No lines from me.
I'm not a god. I never ask you guys to worship me, okay? I'm a human.
I don't think people understand.
Everybody in the top of the industry are lying to you. They're being dishonest.
I'm being truthful.
I'm being truthful.
Oh, Dylan McBurger. All right, so we have deadlifts today, which we got a heavy single, but not too heavy. We have 755, and then we also have, I think, a single on bench. We have been doing really, really good. We pulled the 820 2 weeks ago. We benched the 418 2 weeks ago. We are feeling really good, and I was talking with Sean. I'm like, hey, Sean, I'm feeling really good. And he's like, all right, hey, you know what? Since towards this end of the block, because we are going to do an 8-week block and then bring things down and then change a couple things up. But towards around week 3/week 4, I was kind of finally getting my groove, which then we're like, hey, you know what? Let's rerun it, go back a little bit and build back up. And hopefully we'll be able to hit a little bit heavier numbers in the next 2 weeks, I believe. So I'm going down to New Jersey in 2 weeks for a meet and greet at Attilis with David and Kieran and Devin. So if you guys are in the New Jersey area, pull up. I'll have more details probably to come in either in the next video or so, or I'll post on my Instagram. But yeah, I really want to be ready for that. So I'm just eating as much food as possible. And I want to pull a big heavy number at the gym and also squat a big double. Hopefully some PRs, but I'm making sure everything is on track. I feel like I was a little behind on my YouTube, but I've been just so focused. When I'm in these grooves of training, I don't want to, hinder anything. So I'll video it. I just don't get around to uploading it to the current time frame. But I know you guys probably appreciate more of, the constant progress versus the constant upload. But I am really trying very, very hard to stay to a consistent upload. It's like every 3 days, every 2 days, I'm trying to get a video out. Later, after deadlifts and stuff, I want to talk over about blood work and just some things that I have to discuss, because we're on this road to 260, but it's going to be a little more difficult than I anticipated, just due to some minor inconveniences, let's say. So, but I don't want to get too much into that. I'm gonna get focused up, listen to some tunes, hit the road. We've got about a 30-minute drive to the gym into the city, and just get ready for this day. One thing I'm super happy about is that I finally have my smelling salts. I've been forgetting them I forgot them the entire last block, and when I pulled my 820 or whatever, I was using some random salts and they just hit me the wrong way. I personally like the pouch ones because they're a consistent hit, versus when I do the nose torque or whatever it's called, if I'm too close, it blows my brains out. If I'm too little, I don't feel anything. I just like a consistent hit.
Down your cheeks, you burn everything you see. Gold are your fingers, leaving traces everywhere you go. Diamonds in your skin, my blood flows. Bring the lion out, bring the lion out, bring the lion out. too bad you're married.
What a workout, right? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good right now. This is motivating, you know, especially coming from where it's like I was having a couple bad workouts, you know, throughout the week, a couple times. Not this week, but just for the last, like, you know, 3 weeks or so. There's just some really bad workouts where I was just not happy, and it's nice. I'm so happy I like document this progress, because when I am feeling that, like when I am feeling good, when I'm feeling like I'm on, it just makes it much more motivating. So when I do feel off, you know, I know those good days are coming, and just like today, it was a great day. You know, it wasn't like, oh hey, like we hit any fancy big number that I haven't hit before, but it's just like, yeah, like things are clicking. I was telling Nabil this, where it's like I feel so good when like I hit the number and it's like undershot, right? But it's like a good undershot where it's like, oh dude, it feels exactly like the RP, if not like even stronger than what the RP is. So it's just like, it's just so nice for that. I am right now going back home. It's 4 o'clock. It was a little later training session, but not too bad. I did waste a little bit more time than I typically do, but all good. I feel great. I gotta go home, eat some more food. I'm still hovering around like 242-ish, but I'm not mad about it, right? And I know this is an entire thing to a road to 260, right? And I said in the beginning of the video where I'd want to talk about, you know, I had some blood work done, I've had some bumps in the road, let's say, right? So let me preference this, you know, pretty clearly. I mentioned it a little bit in some videos a while back, but it's like, okay, I got my blood work done, test levels were great, you know, every like free test, great. It wasn't some Dylan McKnight thing, right? So I feel great for the most part, but I was so mega deficient in vitamin D3 that the things that vitamin D3 can affect were affected. So I've been taking the Sigma, the test booster thing from Gorilla Mind, because it has D3, has I think boron in it and a couple other things. But instead of the 4 pills, I'm taking 2 pills, because I remember I was taking 4 at one point and I didn't like how I was feeling. I just felt too much like a teenager, like, so I didn't like it. And it's not that I felt agitated, it just felt like I was just like, I just didn't like it. I don't know how to explain it. But I think that's maybe because I just straight to 4 pills. So I've been doing just 2 pills this entire time, and then I bought separately vitamin D3 plus K3 or whatever, which is supposed to be even better to like mix in the two for absorption rate. So I'm doing that, and I feel like I can definitely tell if I ever do like miss it kind of thing. So I've been just trying to get way more sunlight than I usually do. I just lay out in the sun. And I was doing really good during the summertime, but now that it's quote unquote winter in Texas, it just gets a little gloomy. Like today, it's just gray. So anytime I can get a little bit of sun, I just want to sit out on my porch and just absorb it. So then that's on a couple other supplements that I'm taking, I'm just happy about. But we'll talk about it more on like a couple things I gotta work on when I get home. But don't worry, I'm not gonna blue ball you like I did in the last video of like, oh, this is what I was at. Don't worry, I'll tell you that later in the video, but I wanna be home when I'm not having to think and shit when I'm not driving, you know, because I'm driving right now. But good workout. Really happy with just how things are clicking. So in 2 weeks, or actually about a week and a half, I'll be in New Jersey. So I gotta just up the calories in order, or just keep eating, I guess, to keep making sure I'm being recovered. Because the worst thing to ever have happen, and I know a lot of you guys have this issue for a fact, because it's an issue that everybody deals with, especially when you're powerlifting, right? And it's when you're feeling really, really strong, right? When you're getting your food in, and then you kind of like, and this is for the people that just don't like to eating, right? And they're on a program and they're like feeling really good. Sometimes, even though it can get motivating to eat more food, you actually don't, you know, because you are taxing your body, so you might be a little more tired, but like it moved, right? So, you know, in context, let's say today everything was amazing, right? And then I go home, and then I'm thinking, oh geez, you know what, I had a great day, and then I barely get any food down, and then I wake up and then kind of have a crappier session, and then oh, okay, well, Saturday goes fine, and it's fine, right? But then that carries over to that next week where you're actually not fully recovered. So I'm telling you this right now, you got to make sure you're recovered. Eat that protein. Dude, that's what when I get back, washing my hands, got to do that, and then probably make a shake, add in some tuna, can of tuna, shake. That's 60 some, maybe 70 protein right there, 180, 190 calories in the tuna, and then 1200 or whatever in the shake. I've been liking the shakes, makes it nice and easy. I've actually been playing a little bit of Fortnite. I just play like one game, right? And it's kind of nice, I'll finish my food, and then I'll just play one game of Fortnite, and then I'll go for a walk, or I'll go lay down, or I'll go make more food, depending on what the time frame is. But it's been kind of nice, because it's like one thing that kind of it can take my mind off some stuff, and it's not even like my mind's like, oh, but it's just like, this is my, I'm just doing it because I really like it. I'm not in love with it, but it's just like, Something I've been doing recently is getting about a liter of water right when I wake up, because it's getting to the point where I can get full every once in a while, and usually me being full is because I'm dehydrated, you know. So when you're eating a lot of food, just make sure you're actually getting a lot of water. And on top of that, this is a big secret, right? Nobody wants you to know this. When you're bulking, okay, don't be chugging the water first, or don't be filling up on water before you have any food. I wasn't watching, it got popped up on my TikTok, right? Where Shizzy's talking about taking food and swallowing it like a pill. I'm gonna tell you why this is wrong. Unless it's a high-end like meat source, right? Tuna, beef, turkey, right? That's fine, right? Not amazing, but it's fine. But if you're having anything with carbs, don't put it in your mouth and then put water in and try to, whip it down, because that carbs are going to expand. So what I'll do, because I've tried this, I've done this, I've been through it when it comes down to like force feeding. I have literally all the tips and tricks. Like I've put myself through the ringer when it comes to like eating as much food as possible, throwing up, and then pretty much eating the food again. Not the throw up, but new food. So when you feel like, hey, my mouth is dry, just add a little bit of water, right? And if you add a little bit of sugar, that will do it good, right? But don't put the food in and then drink the water. No. What you do is, if you need to cleanse the palate just a little bit, boom. But try to get all that food down with as little as water as possible. And then, and only then, when the food is completely gone, you chug the water, because what you're trying to do is expand your stomach. So if you're having where it's a carb-based, thing, where it's like rice or pasta or whatever the case may be, right? What you'll do is, when the food's done, chug the water. That's going to expand the stomach. You're gonna go to the bathroom a lot better, because guess what? You have a lot of water in your system. You're not having to worry about, oh, hey, if I chug this water, I won't be able to finish this food because I'm gonna be full. And then on top of it, because of the carbs and water, and it's expanding your stomach, guess what? The stomach is getting bigger. You wanna have a bigger stomach to have a bigger appetite, so you just can keep shoveling food. I honestly think that's how fat people can just keep pounding down food. Like, no, issue to fat people whatsoever. But I've had friends that were fat in high school, right? Then they got into the gym, cut down, right? Super shredded. But anytime I sit by them or we go out to eat or whatever, right? We're sitting down and I just get out eaten every time. I could literally be in the strongest phase of just eating, and I get just beat by somebody who just eats 2,000 calories. They're like, oh yeah, I only eat 2,500 for maintaining. But they just tell me every person that was fat, at one point, they just tell me the same thing. It's like, yeah, I got a hole in my stomach where it's just, I can keep pounding down, which is crazy to me. But I think it kind of comes back to they stretch that stomach out, and then, to even bring about more, reasons why I think this, right? Well, if we look at top level eaters or people that have some kind of eating disorder, as bad as it sounds, dude, you can learn some stuff from them. Usually they throw it up, but I'm trying to keep the food down. But a lot of them do that trick, a lot of those professional eaters, I'll watch professional eaters, and a lot of them, they'll be eating a lot of food, right? And they'll order some kind of Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, something, right? To get that extra fuzz. And when they're eating, they'll sip on it, and then they'll burp, and then they get extra air out, and then they'll keep eating. It's just genius to me, where I'm like, wow. And the average person would look at that and not, they would just go, they're just, their main preference of drink is Diet Coke or whatever it is, right? But it's no. They're trying to get max carbonation to get all that air out to then get more food down. It's just genius. So, when you're struggling with the food, right? Don't try to chug the water until it's done. If you need a little sips to cleanse the palate, boom, do it. But don't be, two bites of beef and rice, and then let me get some drinks of water. you're gonna be full. You're gonna be full. I swear, he's 260. I hope for this year, 2024, the fitness community tries to gain weight. You know, I think everybody's anti-weight, or they just, I don't know if they just don't have the dedication or what, but it's like, you gotta eat to put on size and fuel your workouts. And it's so easy, I think, especially with now how like social media works. We have our phones and everything. Okay, upload shredded photo, right? Use a little barrel distortion. Oh, take photo from here, turn it, twist, boom, 8 inches on your arms. The leaner you are, the better you look on a photo standpoint, right? That it just hinders so many like kids and even adults to not wanting to be bigger, you know? And like I'll fall through that like trap almost of, you know, oh wow, like, oh, I feel big right now, but I don't look big, right? And then I'll cut down like I did 2 years ago and whatnot, and I feel tiny. I feel tiny, and I want to get to that place where it's like I'm big and I'm good size, you know, and the conditioning and the filling it out and everything's just perfect. And I don't think it's unrealistic. You know, I think if we look back in the day when the average guy was 220, you know, for the football teams, you know, so if I be 240, 250, 260, you know, we're on that grind of like constantly trying to gain weight, and that's just all I want to do is like, I want to gain the weight, you know, change the shape, change how I look, add on the tissue, right? Because I look back over the years and see how much my body's changed. Like, okay, I was this weight at 220, I was this, how old at 220, you know, and just see the things that are changing, especially where it's like, as long as I'm doing this, you know, and okay, drop a little bit of weight and then build back up and all that stuff. I think I can maintain a very well-shaped physique. And I know some days it's gonna look worse than other days, but that's kind of like part of the building process. But I just always look at like where I started and go, okay, you know, this is under everything. This is like the skeletal structure. And now I can look at what I look like now, understand the skeletal, like not the skeletal structure, but like the, you know, whole muscle insertion thing is quite bigger, and a matter of fact, just better, you know, where it's like, oh, dude, I'm big, right? And now we're just keep adding clay onto the statue, pretty much, and eventually, you know, with time, a little more sculpting. Like I understood from like when I was like 15, 16, I was like, okay, my physique needs to be, I need just more tissue. I need more tissue. You know, long arms, long legs, you know, wide hip bones, you know, wide wrists, you know, just adding on 25, 30 pounds of muscle or whatever wasn't going to do it for me. So being able to add things on the proper dynamic, like, that's what we're shooting for, you know. The strength, yes, is the priority, but it's like they intertwine so well. I would never want to go just to a full split of just hypertrophy. Like the question I got on a comment before, or maybe it was a DM, was like, hey, Sawyer, you know, you're looking good at 240. Would you ever go to bodybuilding? Not right now, right? The compound movements, especially right now in my age, I'm in like great prime training sessions where I can just keep adding on the tissue, adding on the weight on the bar, you know, and I'm going to develop this mature muscle mass, which I feel like I already had like a good, like dense, hard, mature look when I was like 16, even just first year, second year of training, where everything looked correctly. You guys can look back at my videos, when I was 195 pounds, and like the striations, the structure, everything's great. But as a natural, right? And even if you are enhanced, you have to put on a bunch of weight if you actually want to get big. Not like, influencer fucking IG big. I'm talking about like real big in real life. And I gotta, sculpt it correctly, because it's like I've seen people who get big, right? But then they never really thought of like the shape attributes to it, So like for me, chest, like adding more mass to my chest, adding the thickness to my back. I've added so much mass to my legs over the years. I was looking over, and it's funny because I was looking at my quads the other day in bed, and my teardrop hangs over my kneecap. And I was like, thinking, maybe that's how I was born. And then I look back at younger photos. I was like, oh wait, no, I've built my teardrop so strong from like, leg pressing and squatting and all that it just hangs over, where it's like I have to lift up the teardrop to see the kneecap, which I think is crazy. So just adding in all this size and slowly shaping it. Chest, shoulder, thickening the biceps, that's going to be a big one. And then rear delts. So like the goals, like for 2024 especially, I want to bring up the rears. We have added a significant amount of thickness to our back, but I really want upper back thickness. And now, since we included that chest machine, very recently, I think we're gonna have some good size. The last 1 to 2 years, we have had weighted dips programmed, and I think those worked very well to develop like this nice shelf looking thing. Not even shelf, but like underlying shelf for like my lower pecs, where it's like boom. And I had that look when I was leaner, but I like now I have it being bigger. And now I want to just kind of, instead of just the bottom part, I want that, when it's like tucked in here, I want that thickened out, because when I have it bigger from that point, and I kind of like hunch down, it's gonna be a nice look, like a nice Arnold chest where it's just thick biceps are gonna just be for the photos. If you just have some thick biceps, you look prime. But that's for like a good physique for me. Everybody's different. Everybody's gonna have different, looks. If you want to have a good physique up for Instagram, dude, I'll tell you how it is. Stay very lean, right? Work on some rear delts. Thicken your biceps. You don't need big arms, just thicker biceps and some rear delts. Boom. Have some good abs. You'll pretty much be good. Legs you don't need to have big for a photo. Just have it where you have some fine quads. Take the camera at a low angle. Boom. But then it gets to a point where you're small. You're actually small in real life. And then people meet you and then they're disappointed. But if they meet you and they're like, damn, you big. You're like, yeah. I put up the fork. Tuna with some Val's sauce in it. Munching this up. Gonna eat this pretty much right now. And then we got a shake to make. Doggy. This is something I'm enjoying. I know I've talked about it in previous videos. The tuna wagon is on. And actually, when I'm traveling, I forget this, right? Where I'm traveling, I'm worrying about protein. I don't want to get my protein from protein powder. I usually will. Or I'll get it from like a lot of Fairlife, which I just don't like because that's a shit ton of milk in my diet for that day. But it's like, hey, I'm on the go, right? You know what I'm going to be doing now? When I go out to New Jersey for the meet and greet thing, I'm going to be taking cans of tuna and putting it in my my luggage with a can opener and then a fork. So when I land, tuna, boom. Get 160, 80 grams, whatever you want to call it, off of tuna. Then I don't have to worry, you know, and then I go out, get some kind of high fat meal, maybe like some Denny's, McDonald's, something. But I'm not having to worry about tuna. So I'm gonna bust this out. I'm gonna shower, come back, make a shake. I swear, eating, then hopping in the shower, coming back, you feel hungry again. Try it. If you don't believe me, do it. You're gonna DM me on Instagram being like, "Sorry, you're the smartest man alive."